Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk News. I'm
Ollie.
El Fagador.
Senor, I found something. I was tidying up some cables, putting away all your figures. Basically, this place is a death trap, so I'm just trying to make it safer. But anyway, I found something, and I think you need to see it because it pertains to the identity of a man you've been looking for.
Dear God, the true identity of Byron Saxton. Look at all this. This is a quest that will at least take me out of action for 5 days.
Maybe 7 if you include the weekend.
Oh my word! I've got to get started on this right now. The WrestleTalk News can wait. Can you take over for me?
I'll do the news. You do that.
Oh my God!
For 5 days.
Wish me luck! Byron Saxton's true identity, here I come!
Wait.
What?
You're gonna have to leave the jacket.
Why?
Trust me. Just trust me.
You are El Fagador. You're so trustworthy. Have my jacket, and I will find the true identity of Byron Saxton!
Godspeed, Oliver.
I fooled you all! I fooled you all! And I'm Ollie Davis now.
Support WrestleTalk!
So anyway, on with the news. And we start with an update on everyone's favourite Singh brother, Samir. Little Sammy Singh has been out of action after suffering a torn ACL back in late January, which he got leaving the ring after the brothers jumped Bobby Roode on SmackDown. It would be calmer if kayfabe didn't exist. But things are looking up for Jinder's right-hand man, or left-hand man, depending on which side the brothers are standing on that day, as he's been back in the gym and making good progress to recovery and getting those hashtag gains up on Instagram for us all to see. When his injury occurred, WWE didn't give a time frame for when he'd be back in action, but usually recovery for this kind of injury is 6 to 9 months. So expect him to pop up on Raw fairly soon. While Samir is in the gym getting a Judi Dench, WWE is in Japan debuting one of their biggest indie signings yet. At an event at Tokyo Sumo Hall, Japanese star Io Shari appeared to announce that she is signed with WWE and will be starting in NXT this summer. It's exciting times. As one of the most decorated Japanese female wrestlers, she could have a similar trajectory to fellow countrywoman Asuka. Imagine! She comes in dominant, goes on a huge undefeated streak, goes up to the main roster, wins the Women's Rumble, loses to Charlotte at WrestleMania, and then completely gets thrown off course by James Ellsworth. Maybe not then. But if she does arrive in summer, she'll be joining just in time to compete in the Mae Young Classic too, although there's no official word on whether she is entering the tournament. But that could mean she has a similar trajectory to fellow countrywoman Kairi Sane. Imagine she comes in dominant, storms to victory during the Mae Young Classic, and then is beaten up by Shayna Baszler. Again, maybe not. Maybe not. Basically, there's every possibility WWE are going to mess this up. But they have made Io a pretty rad mask, so there's that, and who doesn't love a mask? And there are potential seeds of a first feud forming on Twitter, with NXT's big EST mouth Bianca Belair calling Shari just another indie girl for me to be better than. Speaking of stars of Japanese wrestling, 7 stars if you ask Meltzer, let's talk that Kenny Omega could work with Impact in the future. Now, a lot of this chat comes from Impact executive Don Callis, who recently appeared on Jim Ross's Ross Report, where the two went into great depth on Omega. Callis said, "I've been on this journey with Kenny Omega since he was a 16-year-old kid who I booked. I gave him his first break wrestling for a promotion I had in Winnipeg, and his uncle, the Golden Sheik, who was an indie wrestler in Winnipeg, helped train me in the business in 1989. So my roots with Kenny go back many years. I've been on this journey with him, and specifically since I've been in New Japan, and we've had a very close relationship." Callis revealed that he helped put together the match with Chris Jericho at Tokyo Dome and feels euphoric at Omega's victory over Okada. And when pressed on the possibility of Kenny appearing on Impact, Callis seemed positive. I kind of say never, and I think one of the things that we've been doing under Ed Nordholm here at Impact is breaking some long-standing paradigms of pro wrestling. The intellectual property stuff that we've talked about before, but also we've been working with multiple people now. He then goes on to name-drop Taji Ishimori's Bone Soldier as one example of cross-promotional talent appearing on Impact. But Callis also reckons something will come out of Chris Jericho's proposed cruise, the rock and wrestling rager at sea. Besides, of course, the brilliant signing of Ricky Steamboat, who is also potentially the venue. With Ring of Honor and Impact talent all rubbing shoulders on this 5-day floating fiesta, you gotta expect that some feuds are gonna spin out of this one. I mean, Callis Defs does. It's going to be Impact and Ring of Honor on the same cruise ship. So there's some stuff that's probably going to happen, and I don't think you can have those talents in a closed environment like that. So we are working, in a sense, if you take that, with Ring of Honor right now. So yeah, expect the sailing to be bumpy. What are the 10 worst finishes in WWE? Find out by clicking the link on screen now, and give us a subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest wrestling news. I'm now Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.